Yo, Flurves, how you all doing tonight? I hope you're all doing well on this awesome cold evening, actually. It's good to see you all. We have a few people in Ellemnet, which is awesome. We have Paul, Spuddy Taylor, The Blind Spot, Neil Constantino, and PJ Cruikshank. How you guys doing?
Good evening.
Everybody.
It's good to see you guys.
Good evening. Good evening, all. If you can hear me, if you can hear me.
Hear you loud and clear.
Well, it's good to see you guys.
I'm never sure with this thing.
But it's good you guys are here. Sorry about the late show again. The power only came on at 11 o'clock again, so you know how it goes. But it's good to be here. I think tonight's going to be just a bit more chill, though, because as you all know, the subject tonight, it's going to be interesting, because we've all had in our times of being in this subject arguments from defenders for the globe. Idiotic ones, okay ones, and I would like to say good ones, but usually it's just straw mans and totally not even understanding their own model. So, before we get to what was the stupidest argument you've ever received from a glober, I think I'm just going to say hi to everybody in the YouTube land. Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. It's always good to see everybody here. Let's see who Andrew Johnson was here, I think. I don't know if he's still here, but the message is deleted. Andrew's been trolling my channel like crazy since I've did that premiere about him showing us horizontal baselines. So he doesn't like it much, yeah. But he's proud to be a troll, guys.
Well, definitely proud to be a troll.
Yeah. But I mean, how do you guys like the poll? 28 votes. Globe defenders need professional help. Yeah.
That's about right.
Yes, if stupid could talk. Oh, wait. That's 11%. Yes, just yes. They do, no doubt. 39%. And these are the Globers, guys. No, we are sane in our own minds. It's 21%. And no, we have an IQ higher than a tuna sandwich. 29%. So yeah, Andrew Johnson, good to see you. Derek Nelson, always glad you could make it, mate. Moxie, thank you for coming. Well, I see they went on and on. Oz, good to see you. Unindoctrinated, always good to see you too. Conspiracy Nuts, hello. Martin 8, thank you for coming. Stanley Tools, good to see you. Alan Nordstrand, how's it doing, mate? I hope you're doing well there over in Denmark. Who else I just saw in here? I think that's everybody I can already see. Dylan, thank you for coming, glad you can make it. And Paula, thank you for being here. Level Up is awesome. If you guys haven't already, please do subscribe to Level Up. She has awesome biblical content. If you are interested in that, please do hit her up and check her channel. Coral Opal, good to see you. Cygnus Step, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Fireball Ferret, it's always great to have you here. And Jeff Gassad, my mate, good to see you. So yeah, that is everybody. What is the stupidest argument you guys have ever heard from a globe defender? I know from my side, I don't have the stupidest one. I have a plethora of... I could write a book practically on it, because I can't choose the stupidest ones. I mean, obviously you guys even heard like QE's numpty clips, and the things that people have said is just beyond stupid, idiotic. That's why I just had to say on this thumbnail, stupid. So I think it fits it great. Like,
well, I'm pretty new, but I did hear someone say that we know the Earth's a sphere because we landed on the moon, and I thought that was pretty stupid.
Yeah, we've all heard that one before. Well, that's a very common one, because we landed on the moon. Like, they're just making a bold claim that it just happens, and then when we give a rebuttal to why it's impossible, what is their answer usually? Well, I know the answer I usually get is...
Yeah, I mean, NASA I saw it on TV, right? We got pictures. NASA said so, right?
Exactly.
All the usual suspects.
Exactly. Speaking of stupid questions like Fireball Ferret, if the Earth is flat, then explain mountains. Exactly. Oh wow.
That's a good one.
Yeah, but you see, this
Yeah,
is
one of the dumbest things I've ever heard was your friend Sean when he was talking about pipes and gas pressure and his bucket of propane. I thought that was one of the dumbest things I'd ever heard.
that was epic. Yeah, guys, if you missed it, we can always show it. Should we go and show it what he said about that?
I mean, I need a good laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, if you missed this was like, wow. But Sean is like he's given the IQ of a tuna sandwich publicity. You know what I mean? Some people find it discrimination against tuna sandwiches. But yeah, I think he displays that and gives it really validation to it. Okay, guys, here we go.
You all know, last night we had a stream. 27 questions for Glovers. If you haven't watched it already, please do go and watch it. Anyway, Sean Hawkins loves to do live streams while I'm live streaming on what I'm live streaming. Yeah. Anyway, I just had to share this because he literally went out of his way and debunked the globe's claim that gravity is container. Yeah, literally debunked it without even realizing it. Sit back and enjoy the comedy gold.
Space is real, their dome isn't, and their argument is done. Now, unfortunately for them, it's actually pretty easy to disprove that nonsense, and we've done it. The first part of this demonstration was done a few weeks ago in the shop and included in another video, and I'll put a link for that in the comments. But now I've taken it outside where I can demonstrate a much higher gas pressure with a taller pipe.
Pipe. There we go, he's just debunked himself again. What's a pipe?
Pipe is not a pressurized gas vessel. It's not a pressurized, not a gas container.
Exactly. But you see what he's saying? Not a pressurized gas vessel. So he's literally making a point that gravity's not holding gas in that pipe. He's literally conceding that, and he doesn't realize that. This is how dumb the guy is. He thinks he's rebutting gas pressure without containment while he's making the point. This is the pinnacle of globe idiocy.
Well, there's kind of 2 points there. You're actually bang on, and maybe I didn't think about it that way. I was more hung up on him saying it wasn't a pressurized container, because a pipe, when it's open-ended, right? Therefore, gravity is not holding the gas inside the container. Correct. That's exactly what we've been trying to tell you. But if I put a pipe in a system, a closed system, it absolutely is a pressurized container.
Yeah.
I work in the oil and gas industry. Trust me, it's pressurized.
And you'll know if there's a leak.
That's right. It kills people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like crazy. It's like you got heating systems that work with pipes. I mean, has this guy ever been to a mine before? I mean, what the hell? A pipe is a container. But yeah, there's there's more than one way to look at it, yeah. But he's definitely conceding that gravity is not holding it in.
Pipe is a bucket.
Let's rewind that again.
Pipe is not a pressurized gas vessel. Not a pressurized, not a gas container. Pipe is a bucket.
Does a pipe contain things?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. But it's not a pressurized gas container. You dipshit.
And let's rewind it once again.
Yeah, it does.
You dipshit.
Yeah.
You dipshit. That's my favorite part.
But I love his eyebrow. I can't do that. What? I can't do that with his eyebrow. You know, it goes up and Down.
That little eyebrow twitch.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that you dipshit. That was my favourite part. I just had to comment in comments about it. It was the first comments I did in YouTube comments for a long time, and I commented just exactly what he said. Fletcher and dipshit.
But I mean, that's always his rebuttal, though. Just swearing at a
Isn't it,
person
though?
and ad homing instead of. I mean, you're gonna see now. He's probably gonna go on his page and just link the stream and say, "Flatzoid is an effing moron," kind of thing, and not have any rebuttal to it. That's all he's going to say. It's like, okay.
That's the thing. He never has. Never has. Was I going to say? Oh yeah, I've got my costume for tomorrow night.
Awesome. Looking
I've
forward
already
to
got
that. By the
Yeah.
way, guys, tomorrow
Got delivered today.
night is PJ's birthday stream. Yeah, looking forward to that, and we're gonna have a bit of a dress up for the panelists on here. So if you are able to come show your face to show PJ's appreciation, please come up as dressed as a character or anything, even if it's the toilet roll. It doesn't matter, guys.
Toilet roll would be brilliant. That'd be good.
So looking
But,
forward to that. Yeah. So we're just gonna have some fun tomorrow evening.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But it's not a pressurized gas container.
Let's hope the engineer fixes the bloody broadband then.
Yeah, definitely.
So a container full.
Yeah, go buy 45 pounds of propane in a bucket. Do that, Flatzoid. Go bring me 45 pounds of propane in a bucket, in a 5-gallon bucket. Do that.
Wow.
Because you know how big a 45-pound gas container is, or 25 pounds. 25-pound gas container. Do that, Flatzoid. Because that's about the size of a 5-gallon bucket, that tank. So go and buy me 25 pounds of gas from a propane dealer in a 5-gallon bucket. Do that.
And that's their argument. This is how idiotic it is. He's like trying to say it's our argument. He knows how nonsensical it is.
What he says is.
But I mean, this is how idiotic it is. He knows how nonsensical it is, and I think while he's saying it, he's realizing it, because you can see, you can see it in his eyes. He's like, "What am I saying?"
That's where the twitch comes in.
I agree with QE. They're just numpties.
Exactly. I don't know. That's why I said I don't know. It's like medication that they got or something that they have to change, or they just literally the Walking Dead guys. They're like literally zombies. They have no idea what's blurting out of their mouth.
That's it. They just want to eat brains, and that's it. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
And I might take you fucking seriously.
Don't call him
I'll
stupid,
never
please.
take you seriously, dude.
Boy, how do I explain this to you easily, Sean? Yes. Open container, gravity not holding gas in it indefinitely, so therefore, bye-bye gas pressure.
As they're pouring this propane into this 5-gallon bucket, why isn't it containing 25 gallons of propane? Flatzoid? Why isn't it doing that?
Wow.
Maybe
What
because
an
it's not a gas container. God damn, he's dumb.
God damn it, you dumb.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I just that's one of my favorites from him.
Oh, it is. It's funny. It's funny.
Paula says, "Stop insulting tuna sandwiches." Jeff Gassett says Vincent Rhodes Today channel shows docs proving the firmament in 1959, the year NASA was born. Wow, that's interesting. I saw a video from him where he's talking about gravity doesn't exist kind of thing. So that's quite interesting. I'll look that up as well. Hey, Andrew Calvert, thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Charlie Walsh is good. Thank you for seeing you. And yeah, that's one of the stupidest things I've seen from the Globies. Hands down. And then him that's saying a tangent doesn't require a straight line. when the actual definition is of a tangent is a straight line touching at a point on a curve.
Of a curve, yeah.
Hey JP, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it. Yeah, so that's like definitely one of my highlights of the year so far. Sean Prawkins. Now I got believe it or not, I've even got a uprising earther execrate himself, the moron that tries to debunk star rotations on the flat earth, and he's supposed to be a flat earther. So we've even got supposed flat earthers giving really stupid arguments. I mean, remember, he is a deltard. They do think the earth is rising up for some odd reason. So they're actually classified as globers, because that's exactly what the globe claims.
Sideways globers.
Exactly. So, what other arguments have we got? Oh yeah, how about you can have an angle with a curved adjacent? How dare you guys not understand you can have an angle with a curved adjacent? Like Dave McKeegan's latest video on surveying. Have you guys watched that?
I haven't seen it, no, but I seen it advertised today, so I was going to.
Do yourself a favor and watch it. He goes and he buys a surveying book. Okay. And little does he know, this book that he's talking about is based, the guy that wrote, the two guys that wrote it, the guy that used to be a surveyor was a geodetic surveyor. And what do geodetic surveyors do, guys? Well, first of all, they assume the earth to have a radius. So they assume a ellipsoid. So when they do their calculations, yes, not measurements, calculations based on planar measurements, that would be flat, guys. They assume a globe, and therefore they put a radius into their calculations. Little does Dave not understand that geodetic and planar surveying is two different things. Geodetic surveying only comes into effect for over 10 kilometers and up. That means...
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known that myself, because I was wondering what geodetic was. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that means that under 10 kilometers, they use planar surveying, which takes no curvature into account. Now, note, when they take this curvature into account, it's them having an assumption, a consideration, and calculate their curve into it. So they take far distances, aka perspective, guys, and they base everything on that. Now, obviously, geodetic, they also use what the GNNS is. GNNS, that's like a GPS station kind of point-to-point system, which is also based on already having data datumed to a sphere. So they measure it flat and calculate it into a sphere. Even on his video, he doesn't realize that. So he went and bought a 600-page book to show diagrams and them making claims that we do calculate curve without understanding calculating is not measuring.
No,
I'll probably be doing a video on this, because I also do have a few citations of my son, and I would be citing from that Bull guy himself, one of his books.
You're right. Isn't it mad how often they get that mixed up? The simple thing of calculation and oh my god, I just forgot the word. calculating and
measurements.
Oh my god, measurement. Why did I just forget measurement? It just went straight out of my head then. Oh my god. Yeah, isn't it mad how often they get that mixed up?
Exactly. So yeah, I'll probably be doing a video on that soon, guys. Stay tuned, because I was just waiting for someone to bring up surveying as proof for a globe. I mean, in this guy's book alone, the same guy he's trying to cite as showing its curve has an actual statement where nobody uses for most of the time the assumption of a curve. Yeah. So tell me, if I'm building a mall or something, and it's definitely not 10 kilometers long a mall, correct?
Definitely not.
And how much curve would you expect in a 10 kilometer span? Quite a lot. Quite a lot.
Yeah.
But they do not take it into account. And also one thing he didn't realize when he was showing his video and citing the so-called calculation of curve, if you read properly, you would understand they were saying refraction was the most accounted for phenomena taken for this, because that is their so-called curve. Light bending. Not physical curve, light bending.
Don't they need the R value for the refraction?
Exactly,
Yeah.
they do.
Exactly.
You know, I was having a similar conversation on 24/7 maybe a week ago with Ruhith, who came on and said that
wow.
he was talking about how they map the U.S. essentially, and he was talking about the project of the U.S. I think they called it TCT, Transcontinental
Ordinance.
whatever, something like that. Yeah, and he was talking about how they were using theodolites. That this is like he's talking 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, something like that. And the theodolites would have telescopes on them, and they would use bilby towers and put them on mountains. And these bilby towers would be whatever 100 feet tall scaffolding essentially with an interior and exterior, so as not to disturb the. It kind of had two different sides, so you didn't disturb the theodolite. And they would shine lights, like, I don't know, across the kingdom of Rohan, whatever, light these flares off and then take these measurements across. And I asked him kind of the same point you're making, Flatzoid, which is, well, how did they, he said it was 192 kilometers was the measurement. And I said, well, how do they take the refraction into account? And he kept insisting there is no refraction there because it's a horizontal angle and not a vertical angle. But I'm like, well, the mountain is, I don't know, whatever, 1,200 meters or how high it was, And so there's vertical, and you're not equidistant on the other mountain. It's not like the two mountains are equal elevation, right? So there must be some vertical difference for refraction to be present, according to whatever you normally say, right? So I just thought it was interesting. He kept dodging. It's kind of like, I'll use refraction when it's convenient, right?
But I mean,
Exactly.
but this is exactly what Andrew Johnson was presenting to us when he brings up horizontal baselines, the horizontal datum. I'm trying to see where. This is what you're talking about, the base nets. I mean, this is what they measured from one side of the US to the other. So it's almost 4,000 kilometers of having horizontal base nets. So it's a horizontal baseline. And they use theodolites on an elevation horizontally. So the datums are horizontal. And they measure slope angles optically. And then they call it curve. Here we go. This is how they showed it. I'm going to keep it muted just so you can quickly see. Hey, Into the Break, good to see you. Thank you for coming, mate. I'm glad you can make it. Just want to get to... There we go. This is what you're talking about. See, these are those poles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, these are those poles they use... Because they use this as a physical measuring yardstick, you could say. So they know the distance that they did it. And then they used... I want to see where he's showing the photos of the...
Looks pretty flat in that photo.
Yeah. There we go. There's the theodolite in the station, where they take it in a tent, and then they are... where is it? This is like we were talking last night. They bring the angle down
Hell's
to
angles.
Hell's angles. There we go.
Angles.
There we go. This is what they do. There we go. The baseline. Check it out.
Right. Okay.
A to B, and usually A to B showing to C, that triangle is horizontal right through. It's line of sight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
if you have a different zenith for A and B, you're not going to be able to have this angle
No, of course not.
because it's a horizontal baseline, guys. Does horizontal bend? No. They will have two separate horizontals if that was the case. Trying to look.
I'm looking forward to your video, Flatzoid. I'm interested in the topic. I don't know much about survey. I'm still learning a bunch, and it wasn't even a bad conversation with Ruhif. He brought some interesting points, and I'm just trying to learn
I don't
the
know.
subject better,
Did he bring up his
measurements?
no, he's
Diagram with 2 sea levels on it. I like that one.
or how
I just can't. I can't talk to him. I can't get on with him.
or how about
no.
his Bedford level experiment that he still has to do?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Yo, Flirts.
Yo, how's it going?
No flares.
Jeff, it's good to see you, mate. Glad you could make it.
See you, man.
You still at work? I'm looking for.
That would be yes.
An affirmative. Yeah.
Yeah, just like I don't think my boss will appreciate me coming dressed up to work for your birthday. I said, well, just come as an engineer because that's what you are.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I whispered Joe Flaps instead of because the boss is about.
There we go. Fundamental geodetic networks, horizontal control. That is exactly. It's a horizontal control baseline system. So yeah, but the people measure it flat and then they calculate spherical axis into it. They calculate reciprocal zenith angles. So that's why they said, but look, the triangles measure more than 180 degrees. Yeah, because it's optical. It's called perspective. That's how it works. But the people are too dumb to understand a theodolite is optical. When it comes to a... Let me just quickly... I want to see if I can get looking through a... I mean, you guys haven't probably seen how they set up a theodolite before, have you?
No, I mean I've seen them, but I've never seen them actually. I've seen them using them, but never seen how they actually work.
Well, they have to set it up perfectly horizontal to perpendicular. So if they have it vertical, okay, that would be the zenith. Their horizontal has to be perfectly set to that. So it literally makes a perfect 90-degree angle. I'm trying to see if I can get the picture of the crosshairs. There we go. This is practically what oh no, it's not like that. Let's get a better one.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Oh, but it's so small. Okay, well this is practically what you're seeing through it, but the more... It's just a normal scope. I'm trying to find a level, because that's that's a rifle scope. But anyway, you get the point. They look through the scopes, and those crosshairs on the scope, it's physically on the scope, correct? Everything in the background is prone to optical phenomena. Angular size change, refraction, as they like to say, perspective, governing perspective.
Right.
But those crosshairs on the scopes stay the same no matter what distance you're looking at. So they compare... I'm just taking this as a result. Let's say that's the horizontal scope. And they compare everything in the background to that. Now, usually with close enough surveying methods with like planar, they use the measuring stick. And they take the measuring stick and they take the measurements on there, which is optical, and they say, you see, this is the distance towards it, this is the angular size, and therefore we can calculate the distance and the slope.
Right.
But the thing I want to bring to attention is that crosshair lines on the scope is infinite. It doesn't have optical phenomena to it. It just stays where it is, no matter where you're pointing your scope. Where the scope, everything you see through the scope, has optical phenomena associated to it, and that would have to be perspective based, which is not accounted for. What is accounted for is so-called curve and refraction based on the optical findings, and that's what these guys don't get. It's all just optical. It's hijacking of perspective. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making the video on that. Definitely gonna have fun doing that. But yeah, that's practically the arguments we get a lot. People not really trying to understand, like Dave McKeegan. I mean, he puts a so-called comment from he says is an actual surveyor, and that actual surveyor apparently does take curve into account. Now he's just trusting this guy as being an actual surveyor. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I can say I'm a biologist. Does that make me a biologist? I mean, I can create a trial, like a stock account, and go on there and say, yeah, guy, I'm also I got a PhD in astrophysics. Does that make me an astrophysicist just because I say so on the internet? No, that doesn't. But yet again, in the same video,
I have a BS and BS.
exactly. But I mean, but he's got another commenter in there, a flat earther, that says we do not take. He says he works with us. He does construction, and he does leveling, and he do not take ever has taken curvature into account, and he calls that guy a moron. He says he's lying. So he can lie just because he's a flat earther, but the other guy, because he's not a flat earther, he's not lying, he's genuine.
Well, yeah, that's just it. It's, you talk about, you guys seen the movie American Sniper, right? Chris Powell, whatever his name
brilliant. Was brilliant.
Yeah.
2,750 meters, and he's in an interview, a 40-minute interview, saying he never took curvature into account, when he's assessing his shots. So I'll put him up against the surveyor.
Well,
sure.
Speaking of that, yeah, me and myself and I think we did a live on this. Myself and Michael, we did a video where we took someone who does long-range shooting, and we have him on camera saying he never takes Coriolis. He says he takes Coriolis into account, but he doesn't know how to take it into account.
Sorry, it was Coriolis, not curvature. That's what I meant.
Curvature, yeah, Coriolis, yeah.
But I mean, how do you take something into account that you can't take into account? I think this is where he says it. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
Remember this guy?
I remember this.
Extreme long-range shooting. Awesome channel, guys. By the way, if you do want to go subscribe to this guy, he does have awesome shooting. I mean, he usually shoots like over 1,000, 2,000 yards at a time. The other day did another 3,000 yard shot again. So.
Wow.
I'm trying to find where he says
the
it.
speed is supposed to change as well. We do not see this, so that's why.
Okay, I'm just trying to look for where he says it. Unfortunately, and you guys obviously saw this as well before.
Yeah.
No, god damn it, man. Okay, what direction are we? East, west, north, south, northeast? Factor in everything. We need to know exactly the direction, the spin of the earth, and how to combat it, or else we're gonna miss. There's no spin of the earth. Take the shot, retard. But that would mean Neil deGrasse Tyson is wrong, and you miss every single shot when we do this. If we miss this shot, our location will be blown. We've been here for 4 days shitting in little cans. Tell me the spin of the earth. Okay, down to the left 16 inches. No. They saw us. I missed a shot. I guess it was spinning a little faster than I thought.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, anyway.
Was that Owen Benjamin?
Yeah, Owen Benjamin. It was really awesome stuff. But yeah, this guy literally says there's definitely Coriolis, but he can't account for it. So yeah, I'm gonna put the link in there for you guys if you want to watch it.
You didn't realize that Coriolis is just an optical illusion?
Yeah.
Yep, it's just an optical illusion.
What would you do if the wind was going the opposite way to the Earth's spin? Would you adjust for the Coriolis, or would you adjust for the wind?
Exactly.
Be down the middle, and hopefully they pull each other out.
Mm-hmm.
You just jump in there and hope for the best. But
Yeah. Hey Gary Wabenga, good to see you. Thanks for coming. The hammer.
With my experience in shooting, like all you adjust for is the distance and wind.
Yeah, wind is the most. Wind and recoil is the most things you have to account for when you're doing long range shooting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Humidity
That's
as
it.
well.
has anybody ever been to a shooting competition, long range shooting competition? Nobody,
Oh, shit.
and I mean nobody, ever takes Coriolis into account. There's no such thing.
No.
Humidity is part of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you later.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you later.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you later.
Brother started talking, so I had to
Nice. I liked it.
What's up, everybody?
I can tell you now. I was shooting a 22 rifle from about maybe 75 yards away, and this is in 1987. I did not know anything about Coriolis, flat earth, nothing. And I was just aiming the rifle, and I had a dime in a crab apple. And I would aim, when the sun hit it, I would see it shine, and that was my target. And after a while, I was able to hit it, because I couldn't find a dime anymore.
You
No
would just
Coriolis corrections,
Nothing.
no
Exactly.
wind, just aim and shoot.
Exactly. Hey, Hammer, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. We are big on hunting here in the bush. And I guarantee you, nobody comes and takes any Coriolis into account. It doesn't even reach your mind when you're trying to go hunting. Because if you did, you would never shoot a target in your life.
No, of course. Especially, Coriolis, as well as a moving animal. It's impossible then, isn't it?
That's why I laugh when they bring up that video, with the guy supposedly shooting with, he sets up his rifle and he points it west, I think, or something, and he shoots a target. You see, I shoot it on target. Then he turns around 180 degrees, and then he shoots east, I think, or whatever. It doesn't matter. And he shoots the opposite direction. And you see, I didn't set it higher, lower, nothing, and it went below the target. Therefore, Coriolis, no, you idiot. Moving your rifle changes the direction.
Oh my goodness.
Every shot you take, every single shot you take, you have to adjust.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's how they duped us in the beginning of Flat Earth debate with all of that nonsense, putting you on a projectile. Now it's game over. They can't do that nonsense no more.
Exactly.
Coriolis is an optical illusion. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Ballistics would tell them that. Ballistics tell them that, doesn't it? Ballistics is all angles.
Yep.
That would disprove it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Gary Wabenga says, yeah, Wolfie claims he has to adjust for Coriolis effects while flying.
Because he doesn't know what Coriolis is.
Yeah.
He suffers from globulus.
He thinks drifting from crosswinds means Coriolis. That's how idiotic this guy is.
Wow.
I think it'd be beneficial to speak to someone who used to fire mortars for a living, because they're in the air a lot longer than around there, so there'd be a lot more effect on it.
But also,
that's true.
But also, they have to understand then, if you're claiming Coriolis in the air, then you can't claim lockstep Earth. You can't say Velcroed atmosphere and then still claim hurricanes as well. That's how idiotic these people are.
Exactly.
That's not how gas behaves.
Nope.
It moves in all directions rapidly.
It
doesn't attach itself to a spin of the Earth.
I mean,
Ridiculous.
you can take a ball now and spin it and use Coriolis optics to try and see the gas around it. I can guarantee you that gas is not going to spin with that ball. It's not going to have any effect. Hey, Tiny Dancer, good to see you. Thank you for coming. But so far, yeah, the arguments we're getting from Globers is just, I mean, it's kindergarten stuff.
No. Gas doesn't have a behavior.
Yeah, thank you, Mark Reed. Gas has no behavior.
Yeah, I know. He's so adamant about it as well. Guy hasn't got a clue. He doesn't know his ass from his elbow, man.
No.
Well,
Gas.
let's change the word. Instead of that's how gas behaves. No. That's what happens.
I would only get it.
How would you say it besides gas behaves? What would be
Exactly.
a proper way of saying it?
I mean, temperature changes the behavior of gas. Pressure alone changes the behavior of gas. Volume changes the behavior of gas. I mean, there's so much things that change the behavior of gas.
We could call it thermodynamics.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go.
Hmm.
That's how to say that. That's not how thermodynamics works. Great. Now you don't have to say gas don't behave that way.
Exactly.
Happy?
Like Paula says, gas just never behaves. Exactly. They're very naughty gases. Well, I know Hammer gets a lot of idiotic arguments for the globe on his channel too. If you guys haven't already, do subscribe to Hammer.
Yes, he does. Yes, he
He
does.
was recording Fight the Tight Shirt yesterday, so he might have some new nuggets when he gets a chance.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
But it's good to have you here, Hammer. How's it going? If he's available.
Doing well, guys. How are you? How are you?
Good, thanks. Do you have any of your favorite idiotic globe arguments to present?
Not offhand. You know, I've been I took a little hiatus again. Stepped away for a minute. We did record FTFE last night. He was hanging out with Johnny. I forget what they were talking about, to be honest with you.
You are wise not to listen to them, Hammer.
Definitely.
He doesn't even listen to his own shows when Fight the Tight Shirt's on. Can't blame him.
Yeah, I apologize. I need to go back and listen to it.
Wow.
Like I do have a couple shows that I want to do on some sort of different topics, but I feel like it's related.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. E2Thay, thank you for coming in. Look at this comment, guys. How is that you managed to be objectively incorrect about virtually everything you say? You should have been right once on accident by now. Flatzoid for top left 2024. Brilliant rebuttal. Wow. Instead of telling me how I'm wrong, this is the idiocy we get.
I can't see YouTube tonight. You know what I mean?
But I mean, this is the idiocy you get. You're always wrong. Okay, how am I wrong? No, you're just a moron. You're always wrong. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorites. It's only possible on a globe.
The globe.
Where it's not possible on a flat Earth. I love when they say that.
It's always just possible on the globe, no matter what. It's just globe.
Cause globe.
Cause globe, exactly.
No, it's cost gravity.
What is gravity? Famous Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know. Next question.
Next.
But they want to tell us.
Dropping a microphone.
Yeah, dropping a microphone is gravity now. But then they ignore that according to general relativity, gravity is not a force. It is not even a real thing. If you drop a microphone, it's net zero G. It's not accelerating. It's sitting still. Yet they want to claim that object is falling due to a force. How do you have a net force if it's at zero? You don't.
You don't. No.
So they throw away F equals MA while trying to keep its effects. It's crazy. Top left is
Yeah,
the
like
best
you said,
argument. Yeah?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Like you said, they like to toss away the, or they contradict themselves with the lockstep atmosphere, and then basically it not moving lockstep. I forgot what you had mentioned there. Sorry.
No, yeah, exactly. The lockstep. That's what we call globulus. And I mean,
Coriolis.
and I mean, like I was saying, when QE did his demonstration that time, where he took a drone up, and he still saw a rotation of the stars. Totally goes against the Coriolis. It doesn't show a rotating Earth.
Great video too.
It was great. But you see, that's when they started saying, oh, no, it's lockstep. You're still moving with the atmosphere. You're still moving with the Earth. So then...
If they go lockstep, then it's no Coriolis, okay?
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Then why do planes have gyros then? Why do we need a gyro? I mean, why do we need to do anything? We can just... You got two situations. You can either go up and wait for the Earth to rotate under you and go to a destination, which we never see. Or you can go up in lockstep and just fly backwards. I mean, if you go against...
That sounds fun.
I mean...
Sounds fun, doesn't it?
I mean, take off, remember?
I mean, they claim...
Yeah, of course.
They claim conservation of momentum. Well, I'm going to say infinite conservation of momentum because it just never runs out for some odd reason.
Yeah.
so if
that
you...
was just things that they would just say, not even understanding what it meant.
Exactly.
It was just, knee-jerk reaction. Conservation of momentum. Conservation of linear momentum.
No, but you see, that was the thing. When we first asked them, okay, what momentum are you talking about? What conservation? Linear or angular? They were like, they didn't know. So they have to... Doesn't matter which angular momentum or linear momentum they go to, they have things to contend with that they are not able to defend. So yeah, like I said, if you're going opposite to the conservation of momentum, hey, look, Neil's got an automatic car. He doesn't even need to drive. Yeah, so when they go opposite of the conservation of momentum, are you not supposed to be using that momentum up? So therefore, you're flying, in essence, you're flying backwards. And I've had this even from what's that guy, that Robert Greenlee guy? He flies planes. He actually conceded towards me, then we're flying backwards.
What an idiot.
So yeah, it's idiotic. No matter which way they move to with their arguments, there's always problems.
Well, they'll claim the Volcott's pendulum with Coriolis. Well,
Exactly. Hey, Just Jay, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. One argument also here a lot is like when I say gravity doesn't exist, and like, oh, then how do you expect to be sitting on the ground? It's like, are you really this dumb? You see,
I bet my knees.
But I mean, this is the idiocy of these guys. They think you require a force to stay on the ground. They're building their premise on you require something to hold you to the ground, which isn't.
Doesn't it require a force to get you off the ground?
Yeah, but they're saying we got a force pulling us to the ground, but gravity is not a force, so it cannot pull us to the ground in the first instance. But like I'm saying, they start with the premise you require something to hold you to the ground. So that's their building blocks of how they think. Instead of thinking, listen, let's not make that assumption we require something to hold us to the ground. How about we make that assumption that we have to use a force to get off the ground? Because we are denser than the air around us. So the air cannot support us. So what's going to happen? We'll be standing on the ground. The substance that can support us.
It's simple, isn't it?
Yeah. There's no such thing as if I didn't have gravity, I would be flying off everywhere. No. That's an idiotic basis to base everything on. It shows you how different we used to think. I mean, when we were all globers, we used to think the same thing. Because Earth's rotating so fast, we would just fling off the Earth. But then when you say, okay, but if you're going to say rotation of Earth, you'll just fly off the Earth because of centrifugal forces. In the same breath, they say it doesn't spin fast enough. It's only one rotation per day. It's like, did you just hear what you said? So the centrifugal forces will be fast enough to throw us off of the Earth, but it's not fast enough to even pick up. Hey, Faciality, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for your $2 super chat. Really appreciate it. It says, if gravity held us to the ground, we'd never move. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you very much for your super chat, Faciality. Really appreciate it. Guys, please hit the likes and share the show. It does help to get out to a wider audience. So what other arguments have you got? I see someone is watching from Twitch as well. Thank you for coming in, Twitch. Glad you could make it. It's good to see you there.
I've seen a lot of ballers asking for flat Earth measurements quite a lot, especially in your comment section.
Oh, okay. I had a premiere the other night on from Andrew Johnson, where he gave about 4,000 kilometers of flat Earth horizontal baseline measurements. How about all celestial navigation? How about all cartography? It's all based on horizontal baselines. That would be flat Earth measurements. Hey, Ellen Nordstrand, being a member for 8 months, really appreciate it. Says gravity literally sucks. Gravity, as real the nice size guy says. Good to see you, man. Yeah, gravity literally sucks. Yeah, it's insane. I'm trying to think of what other arguments I've heard. There's just so much. Every time you think you've heard of something like this is the pinnacle of stupidity, you just get more. Oh yeah, like Andrew Johnson. He's defending helium balloons accelerating down.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, helium balloons accelerate downwards, guys. He calls it negative.
Accelerate down.
Negative acceleration, like Dal and them.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
And then we are making assumptions that helium balloons go up.
Okay, so yeah.
So when I let a helium balloon go, which direction does a helium balloon go?
It goes up.
They seem to have problems understanding what a vector is. It's crazy. Gravity? Gravity what? It's crazy. What else stupid things did we get? Oh yeah, the horizon is physical.
Oh yeah.
That's another one we get. And then when you ask them, okay, how is it physical? And you have refraction at the same time. Yeah, refraction just changes the physicality of the horizon, just changes where it's situated. Okay, so not physical then.
That's another optic. Now that is Coriolis is an optical illusion. The horizon is an optical phenomenon.
But I mean, that's the issue they got though. They take this and they say, oh, but it's physical. And then you say, okay, but you're claiming refraction. So it's not in the same position. So it's physically not physical. It just doesn't make sense.
I just posted a clip in the Ellemnet chat. That's from Craig. You play that.
Okay.
Go for it.
Gonna copy and paste it into... But it's good to have everybody here. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. Okay.
So that's no question. Oh, then you would know that using a sextant for celestial navigation requires the radius of the Earth, wouldn't you?
Oh, my goodness, Craig.
Well, yeah, absolutely. To do celestial navigation with a sextant, it requires the radius of the Earth.
Why does
really? Because,
yes.
Did you not know this?
Then
were you not aware of this? Were you not aware that using the radius of the Earth is required in more than one part of the process. The algorithm for doing celestial navigation with a sextant not only requires you to use the radius of the Earth to calculate your position, but also requires you to use the radius of the Earth to calculate your drop that you need to apply after.
Height of eye corrections, not radius based.
What?
Craig.
He's talking to Johnny B as well,
What
and he's
the
the ship
hell?
captain, so he's not going to get away with that.
Wow.
After taking the initial measurement,
So the
it also requires you to
radius
use the radius of the Earth.
The radius of Earth that's been debunked by the Black Swan.
Yeah.
Exactly. Black Swan 2020.
Exactly.
But I want to see what this guy. this should be bad for FTF. But then again, Craig usually gets demolished in everything he says. So.
Earlier for the refraction calculations and adjustments. So, I mean, you, being a captain, should be well aware that using a sextant requires knowledge and usage of the radius of the Earth.
Are you trying to be funny now? Okay.
No, I'm being factual.
You told me I didn't have to teach you what the instrument is about. And then
You wouldn't be
start
able to teach
talking,
me because you don't know how to use it.
And you are exposing you and you don't know anything about it. How can that be like that?
I mean, I've shown many times on this show that I know exactly how to use a sextant and how to use it for celestial navigation, which requires the radius of the Earth in its calculations.
Yeah, okay. Of course you need the radius of Earth, but it has to be falsified. So why are you talking
No,
about
the radius of the Earth has
something
never been falsified. Never, ever, ever. I told you, you're a Nathan Oakley, Papa. You're
No, he says the radius has never been falsified. Wow.
My goodness.
I just thought, how would he apply a radius value to a flat map?
Exactly.
Is this last night? Sorry.
And now do you have a radius and a plate spheroid?
Paul, was this last night's one?
Yeah, there are many clips to take out of this hammer. Because this is only a few minutes in.
Wow.
Papa Flurf is Nathan Oakley because he thinks looking at a.
This is the thing that these guys love doing. Always bringing Nathan Oakley or QE into it. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, even if you've never heard of the people, they'll bring it in.
Yeah.
He is the father of flat Earth. You can't not talk about him.
No, Paul, it's called living rent-free in people's heads.
Yeah.
It's nice
Indeed.
that they're always mentioning us.
Picture falsifies the radius of the Earth because he doesn't understand what refraction is.
has nothing to do with that. But okay, we can talk about that later. But first, you have to learn about what the sextant is and how it.
No, I don't need to learn about a sextant. I know how to use a sextant.
The mere fact you have to set a horizontal when using a sextant debunks his radius claim.
Yeah, exactly.
He claims he's had 1,000 hours of training with a sextant.
1,000? 1,000 hours of training. Wow.
Remember, I said a few months ago, a sextant works on a principle with a succession angles. And they all laughed at me. They don't understand. For those mirrors to line up horizontal, it's what you call a succession angle. So it shows parallel, so it has an angle in succession to make a 90. That's how you get your measurement. They don't get this. It's the most simplest geometric principle that there can be. They just don't get it.
And that can't work on the surface of the Earth, that's for sure. Because their Earth is a sphere. But it is working because it's flat.
But you see, that's the other argument that I bring up. Oh, but the surface of Earth has nothing to do with it. But you use an horizon for your celestial navigation using a nautical sextant. Then they say, oh, but when you use a bubble sextant, we're talking about celestial navigation based with a nautical sextant. So that means nautical sea. Now, even if you are on the ocean and you use what you call a artificial horizon, you're setting a horizontal. That horizontal would not be able to be set if the Earth was curved. Now, a bubble sextant does exactly what an artificial horizon does. It sets a horizontal datum. They don't love that word horizontal at all. They hate it. It's like, that's what I say. When Sleeping Warrior says gravity not a force is their kryptonite, Horizontal is their kryptonite.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why they got what they call bendizontal.
It's the curvaison.
The curvaison, exactly.
Okay, but
Oh yeah, he
give me a minute.
denies 90 degrees, I think, all day. And at some point, he definitely says there's no triangles in celestial navigation. I'm pretty sure I love that one.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I got videos on that as well. And no triangles in celestial navigation when we actually show triangles in celestial navigation with citation. I mean, we've done videos in this as well. Let me see if I can quickly find. I mean, I had McToon the same thing. There's no triangles in celestial navigation. You guys are morons. While we're showing on screen citations of triangles, and then later on says, yeah, working out triangles after he said there's no triangles. It's like, what is wrong with these people? But then again, what's the other stupidest thing I've heard from Fight the Flat Earth? T is an experiment.
T?
Yeah. Waiting is the independent variable.
Oh,
for T
yeah,
to
the
get
waiting,
stronger.
right, yeah, of course. Yeah, the ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, waiting heats the water. Ridiculous.
Or how about this? I don't see triangles from Webtoon. Triangles is scary for Webtoon. They don't like triangles, guys. This is also based on celestial navigation showing triangles. I don't know what it is. Horizontal and triangles, 90 degrees. It's just too much for these guys. Okay.
And anything that's got any flat lines in it.
Okay. This is.
Are we saying there's
Oppenheimer? Ooh. Okay. So how to use a sextant, guys? The sextant is a complex device, but luckily it is very easy to use. Basically, a sextant measures the angle between two objects, with at least one being celestial. Remember, never look directly at the sun, obviously. What is that, guys? What's that first? That's the baseline of an angle, correct? Two lines meeting at a vertex to make an angle.
Yeah.
What does that word say in there? Horizon?
Horizon.
Weird. Weird how that works. But we don't use the horizon, guys. We don't use Earth. Okay. It says the measurement of the angle is then taken through the use of two mirrors. You got your mirror there, and you got your mirror there. They are in succession. The user looks through the sextant's eyepiece directly at the first object, usually the horizon. Horizontal plane, guys. That's what horizon is. There is actually a mirror in the line of sight. Just because it's only partially silver, you can see beyond the horizon. The other mirror is connected to the movable arm and directs light from the sextant object, usually the sun or moon, and reflects it into the half-silvered mirror. The movable arm is adjusted until you see both the first object, aka the horizon, and the second object, the sun or moon. Then you read the measurement of the angle located on the movable arm. That would be the adjusted arm. Okay? So, what do we see? Trigonometry. What is trigonometry? The mathematical relationship between the sides and the angles of triangles. What's a sextant? A navigational instrument containing a graduated 60-degree arc used for measuring the altitudes of celestial bodies to determine the latitude and longitude. Ooh. Okay. I want to see if, where it gets to. What is this? Sokotoa? Would this be trigonometry with a triangle? Did we just show him wrong? So FTFE, tell us again how you don't use triangles with celestial navigation. Really weird. See, guys, this is what they say. They say the dip correction means Earth curve. No, your eyes are not embedded in the ground. So usually, like this, it's height above 2 meters. So your eyes have to adjust for those 2 meters above the ground because the water is not physically at your eyes. It does rise relative to eye level because perspective. Your dip correction is simply to make it more accurate because you are physically above the water. Not because of Earth curve, because of physicality in real life. You don't lie on your belly with a sextant with the scopes inside the water, do you? No, you don't. So you correct for the angle, so it is horizontal. That is what the height of eye correction is. And again, triangles. They don't like this stuff. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that.
I think the 90 degree at the GP destroys it all anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the fact that when you take an angle, it creates an area of equal elevation, and then the more angles you take, the more equal areas you get, the worse the problem gets for the globe, because they're all areas of black.
Exactly. Hey Andy Sibley, thank you for coming. You see, Andy, the problem is with the globe. You guys need it to be physically dropping. Okay? We don't. Because you don't have a physical height for the sun or stars or whatever. It's called an apparent altitude angle measurement. Apparent means optical. It's apparently at that position. It's due to perspective. Just like when I take a... I'm gonna do this again. I can't believe I have to do this. Let me quickly go to Discord. Go to Mr. McToon's Discordness. See if he's... Because he still hasn't figured this out, guys. It's been, what, almost half a year now? Correct? Well, I've asked him to do me something. There we go. Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Can you see it has different angular measurements with distance to the same point on the flask?
Yeah, I can see that.
Did the flask become lower physically when I moved away? Or was it just the apparent angular measurement?
The apparent angular size.
Thank you, yeah. So, I asked McToon, because remember he did that trailer, using the trailer measurements to work out its dimensions using just
I remember that.
the Theodolite app. So I said, fine, I have one for you. Do this for me. Well, I've had a few Globers trying to tell me the height of this flask, and they give me 3 different measurements, and all 3 different measurements were wrong.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Yeah.
So, this alone debunks their claim that it's physically dropping in the distance. It doesn't physically drop. You see, I even gave him exact measurements of the distances and everything. So he can't say I didn't give him enough information. But yeah, it's an apparent altitude angle measurement. Just like when we, like when I was trying to explain this, which the people still don't get for some odd reason. It doesn't physically drop. It's a relationship based on how you see. If I'm standing under the star at Polaris and it's 90 degrees above my head, it's at the same GP as me, I'm looking straight up. If I'm moving away and I see the same star at 80 degrees, it hasn't physically dropped to 80 degrees. I have measured a 80 degree apparent altitude angle. It's the same star. With distance and perspective, again, light poles, perspective. We have to show this over and over and over. Because this is just something Globers just don't seem to understand. I don't know what's wrong with it.
They don't get They don't get perspective. They'll show you orthographic and tell you they take perspective into account.
Oh, I'm looking for my favorite one. I can't see. Did they take it off? Always have. Oh, there it is. I love this one. Do those lights physically drop in altitude, or are they just apparent altitude angles if I measured? I mean, if I took a sextant now and I stood there and I measured an angle to that light, it's going to differ for the angle to that light or to this one. It doesn't physically change their height because it's an apparent altitude angle. This is exactly why the 27 questions ask, do you know the difference between optical and physical? Do you know what apparent means? Yeah. So you guys want to go on with this little bit? Yeah, hear what FD's argument is?
You carry on. Go for it, man.
Maybe the audience will understand I'm absolutely on the point, and maybe you're not. But if you want to talk over me,
so that's cool. So
what is height that you don't know about it? Is that you're trying to do? Hiding that?
I'm going to ask you some questions about it. I'm going to ask you some questions about it. So, so what is step 1 in the algorithm when using a sextant for celestial navigation?
Setting your horizontal. You stand up, you open the eyepiece, you search for, you're taking the two angles, the two mirrors, and you're going to align them to the horizon. So you're going to align the horizon with the one mirror, and you're going to take the adjustment arm and align the celestial object to the horizon. You're setting a horizontal baseline. That's what you do when you first pick up your sextant. Make sure everything's working in order and aligned. Then you're going to sway it left to right to make sure that it's touching the horizon, the lip of the horizon, to make sure that it is set horizontal. Because if your sextant is not set vertical to horizontal, you will not get an accurate reading. Where do you need to use the horizon for that? Or if you use an artificial horizon, it's horizontal. Always a horizontal baseline.
That's not the question, as I say, on the table now.
Again, Andy, I can't help you too dumb to get. It's not a physical height, Andy. The guy still wants us to get a physical height for the sun.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Hey, Professor Full Belzian, how you doing? Hello, Flatzoid. Can you explain to your audience how you would calculate the distance between two longitude and latitude coordinates without the Haversine or Vincetti's formula to complete the navigation? Explain to your audience how you would calculate the distance. Well, it's just simply based on the 60 nautical miles per degree, is it not? Per 10 degrees.
So can I just address that comment?
Yeah.
We don't have a claim for the distance of the luminaries, but you do. And we'd just like to know how he figured out the distance to the sun. 98 million miles. If you could provide us with that evidence, then we might start listening to you.
Yeah.
It was something to do with a guess on Venus.
But also, he says I need to calculate it. I don't need to. It's already here. Here it is. There's the formula. You take a 90-degree baseline, which is already set because you're standing 90 degrees. That's the end of the globe already, because there's no curved adjacent. And you take your measurement, which you minus your measurement from the 90, which gives you your co-altitude angle, and you times that by 60 because it's an angular measurement, on the celestial sphere. Your sextant is an arc reading, which will give you your distance. So let's go and say you're standing and you measure a 40 degrees. It's going to give you a co-altitude of 50, which you times by 60 will give you 3,000 nautical miles away. We've been through this before. There's all your measurements, and you would know exactly what latitude you are based on the apparent angular measurement.
this freaking thing.
So Professor Full Bell, I'm going to challenge you to show how this math I've presented you is wrong.
If the Earth was measured as a globe, why would you need a transformative equation like the Haversine formula?
Yeah, the Haversine comes after the measurement. All these measurements are the base of what you guys go on. All these. I mean, this was obviously based on the latitudes, okay? That's what's done with every 10 degrees. You can do it with every 1 degree, you can go half a degree, it doesn't matter. It just gets more complicated that way. This is just for simplicity. I know if I'm standing at an RC Polaris at 20 degrees, I'm at latitude. I'm at a 20 degree latitude. On your grid system, by the way. I love how he's trying to put us on the globe. That doesn't make...
That's right.
Yeah.
And what is that, 3,000 miles? All flat, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And then if you sight another star, you can't even imagine how much would be flat. Say you sight 3 stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you do... Hold on, I can't talk.
The more you sighting, the more accurate you make it.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. The more angles you take, the more areas of equal elevation you take, which just increases the problem for the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
But it increases your accuracy at the same time.
Could be 20,000 miles flat.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the globe?
Well, just think how the equator was derived. It was from elevation angles, wasn't it? So from the equator to the GP of the North Pole, it's all flat, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you sight 3 stars, you get circle of equal altitude, right? Say once 3,000, then another 3,000, then another 3,000. It's all flat.
Yeah.
Where's the globe?
But you see, this is the issue these guys have. This is that horizontal baseline I just showed you. Okay? You don't need this. That's all you have. That's your horizontal. That's your base. Okay? Now they go and they place a curve under there. Now if I'm going to make an angular reading, I'm going to place this in through the center, just for shits and giggles. And let's say we make an angular reading of a certain amount. Okay, I've got that angular reading. Now, let's just say that's a 45 degree angle for whatever. So, what does it say at 45 degrees? We're going to go 90 degrees. So, I'm looking for where I can write. Where is... sorry guys, I'm looking for where I can insert some text. There we go. 90. degrees, because that's what your base is. You'd minus what you measured, 45 degrees, which would equal what? 45 degrees, correct? So you times that by your angular measurement, because it's an angular measurement. Remember, this is an arc, it's an angle. You're measuring a arc measurement, okay? Which would give you 45 times 60. That would give you your distance in nautical miles. So yeah, let's go to the calculator quickly. What is 45 times 60? And yes, I'm allowed to use a calculator, guys. There we go, 2,700 nautical miles. So that's how you know your distance to the GP. Now, you've already got your distance. What do these guys go and do? They just take this and this, copy, paste, and they stick it to the center of their Earth. They duplicate it.
Yeah, Flatzoid. It's like what you were showing yesterday, you and Adam, with Adam's failure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, why go through 5 more steps when you've already got the data you need?
You've already got it. I mean, I've got my distance already. I've got my latitude, just based on that alone. That's all they do. They just duplicate it. They bring it to the center of Earth. Hull's angles, as they like to say. As you say, it's Hull's angles. So what happens is they got this, they brought it down, and now they got their new angle. There we go, like that. So now they've taken this distance that we've measured horizontally, and they're now taking it and sticking it there. Because this was simply the celestial sphere. This was the celestial sphere, guys. Obviously, this is just a rough sketch, but just trying to explain it. This arc here is the celestial sphere. That's based on your field of view. Hey, Godzilla 37, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it, mate. Always good to see you. So, because they say, I've taken this... Actually, I should do it this way. Before we even put this in the center. You can't put it in the center. Because this is what we measured now. We measured this angle. They say, but hang on, we need a linear relationship. So therefore they paste their globe there. So say, but now we have a horizontal baseline, but now we need to turn it into spherical coordinates. You've already got your data there. There's all your data you require. It's based on flat. So then they go and they duplicate this data, have a sine formula, in other words, guys. They take it to the center of Earth, Hull's angles, and they've just duplicated the arc from the celestial sphere and brought it down as the surface. So this horizontal distance we measured is now translated as the arc. So that's why they say they have their linear relationship. Not because it's sphere, it's because they decided to take the angle measurement and stick it in the center of Earth. Hull's angles. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense to them.
I hope I explained it.
that?
I hope I explained it as simple as possible to these guys.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
So measure it flat and then assume it's round.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Professor Fulbell, speaking of you here, how's that 27 questions going?
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, you should have been done with it ages ago, correct?
I mean, even Andrew did one. Didn't get do very well in it, but he did one.
At least he attempted it, so...
He did attempt it, yeah.
So big ups to Andrew for attempting the 27 questions. But I mean, Professor Fulbell was so excited to do these questions. He's like, oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be easy.
Yeah.
And yet we're not getting anything.
Yeah.
Hell find it. JP. So yeah.
I am telling you, you have to shut the fuck up or let me explain what it's about, and then you can say something about it, okay?
No, I asked you a question. Why are you avoiding the question? In celestial navigation using a sextant, what is step 1 in the algorithm? Go ahead.
It's not about the algorithm.
Hey, PT194, thank you for coming. Good to see you. He says, the angle distance relationship only works for a globe. False. That's why you felt the need to compress your distance. No, I drew it very simple for you so you'd understand what my argument was, PT.
Wow.
And if you paid attention, we had Adam presenting that it doesn't work for your globe.
Find an angle, please.
Yeah. And what's an angle? 2 straight lines meeting at a vertex, not a one straight line having an adjacent curved, does it? No.
You You have to.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
Do you not know it's called an algorithm?
Hey, I have no chance.
What do you mean
say
it's not an
anything.
algorithm? It's literally called an algorithm. It's the celestial navigation algorithm using the sextant. There's an
talking
algorithm
about-
you use.
Hey, moderator.
So what's step one?
Somebody
What?
take
Sextant algorithm? What the hell is he talking about?
The calculation algorithm to the sextant. I haven't got a clue what he's on about. He doesn't, I don't think.
You mean calculations because of your assumption it's a globe after you've already got
Exactly.
your measurement on a flat baseline?
Exactly.
That's
Because
not
that's what he says. You need the radius. So he's already working on assumption, isn't he?
But that's not an algorithm, though.
It isn't, no.
Take him down.
No, he's
because
actually
he's
on point. He's asking you a question. He wants his question answered. It's pretty simple.
I'm
Debate.
trying to give a definition of the instrument that
Again, Full Bell, I'm waiting for you to answer. How is your 27 questions going? I don't need to calculate from Johannesburg to Nairobi because that's not what I need to do. You can do it yourself if you don't want to. Take the math I presented and do it yourself. But I would like you to tell me, how is your 27 questions going?
I was talking about, the sextant. And he is trying to talk over me all the time. I will give...
No, I was just asking a question.
Okay, don't do it. And sextant is a angular measurement instrument.
It's an angle measuring device, yes.
Yes, device. Yes, it's absolutely not. Therefore, it has nothing to do with, in the first place, of the any radius in the first moment of the use of.
Yeah, Godzilla, exactly. We challenged them, waiting. We've got a lot of challenges still unanswered by them. Where's your demonstration with gas pressure without a container? Where's your demonstration you can have an angle with a curved adjacent?
Michael still wants your credentials as well.
Yeah, Michael's at least back next week. Hopefully he's back tomorrow for your birthday. Hopefully he'll be able to come
that'd be
in.
cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Beat me to it, PJ.
The instrument. So, how do you get angular measurement with using this instrument? Yes, I will tell you. You aim to the sun, for example, and take the sun down to the horizon. And in the same time you do that, you need to take the time. Exactly. So you can
Exactly, Johnny.
You need to take the time to do an angle measurement.
Yes, why do you have to take the time? Maybe because the luminaries move? Ever noticed that? Because if you didn't take the time, it changes with time. It moves across the sky. So yeah, that's why you have time. That's why they had to set a data point of the Greenwich.
Have an almanac exactly where the sun shall be.
No, we were just talking about angle measurements, so stick to one thing at a time.
That is an angular measurement, FTFE. But yeah, guys, if you haven't already, please do go watch this. I'm gonna stick it in here again. Go and subscribe to Refracted Philosophy. You can definitely do with the subscribers. I can't believe you got such a little, by the way, Hammer. I thought by now you'd have many more.
You know how it is. I need to be more consistent, maybe. I don't know. I could blame it on the YouTube censorship.
Unfortunately, when you have your shows, I'm sleeping, so.
I usually wake up to them.
I know the prime audience was all sleeping at the time. Can't catch it live. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'll either be on during that time or we'll figure something out.
Yeah. Oh wow, Peter, Greenwich pronounced Greenwich. Sorry, I'm South African. I pronounce things differently to you, so.
Yeah. It's well. I would say Greenwich, but yeah, it's just, I knew exactly what you were on about. You know what I mean? There's no need to be pedantic about it.
Professor Fulbal is waiting for equipment. Nice. So he's going to do an actual demonstration for us.
Sounds good.
Since you're waiting for equipment, I can guarantee you 100% it's having containment.
I think the equipment he's waiting for is just a microphone, to be honest.
He's probably trying to make up some excuses and hoping we're going to forget about it.
It's definitely a printer to print off his credentials.
Maybe. Elementary school
Maybe.
orientation or something.
Yeah.
Because that's
Maybe
one
high school geometry lesson, maybe.
Maybe.
For him.
Maybe. I mean,
we're definitely going to be having. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go on.
We're definitely going to be having more of this. I just want to mention that. So if people are interested in that, there'll be more of that. Like I said, I'm going to be doing other stuff, but we'll definitely be having more of this. I think FTFE and old MC Tune or whatever will be regulars at that Asylum server. And
cool.
I like Apocryphon. He's a good dude. So
awesome.
I don't know.
Cool,
we'll
cool.
see. We'll see what's going on.
Awesome.
It'll bring lots of fun content like this, I guess.
Yeah, because there's always a whole bunch of nuggets in your streams, though, I have to say. Yeah, Godzilla, blind leading the blind. That's about right. Wow, look at the time already.
Who said that?
Godzilla. It says the globe is blind leading the blind. Yeah, there's
I thought it was a comment about me.
No, man. Please subscribe to the Hammer's Refraction Philosophy. There's his channel. Do subscribe, guys.
I just subscribed, Hammer, so there you go.
Woo.
You're up to 201 as far as I can tell.
Yeah. Rockwell Collins, why won't you swear on the Bible that you've never been deceitful or lied on your channel? Because you don't swear on the Bible. You swear to God. I don't make the Bible a idol. How's that?
Exactly.
That his yes be his yes and his no be his no.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I can guarantee you that I have never tried to be deceitful to anybody. Should I look into the camera?
Yeah.
I have never been deceitful to anybody. To be deceitful, you outright are trying to deceive. Get it?
Yeah.
I'm open.
James 5. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just keep pinging. Sorry, carry on, Flats.
Yeah, exactly, level up. Not to mention the Bible says do not swear.
Yeah, it says in James 5:12, isn't it? It's do not swear on anything that is in heaven or on earth, but let your yes be yes and your no be no.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Yeah. You see, they're trying to push this on me because of Bart Sobral asking the astronauts to swear on the Bible that they went to the moon. As now, that is like my problem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't want to swear on the Bible based on religious views, they could have just said, sorry, the Bible says I cannot do that.
That's right.
But the bad thing is when they go sit in court, they stick their hands on the Bible and swear on the Bible. But they will not do it when he asked them, you went to the moon. Now that somehow makes me deceitful. Okay. That's fine. Someone robbed the bank in another country in 1925. I'm deceitful for that.
Yeah.
That's how logical that argument is.
Yeah. Did you get a lot out of it?
But I mean, that's how logical that argument is.
Yeah.
Oh, and Asbury, 11 frames. What about 11 frames?
Oh wow.
Well,
I'm glad I'm not on YouTube tonight.
Yeah. Hey, TY Smokes, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Last ditch effort by Rockwell account number. Yep.
11 frames. Wow.
Yeah, I will give Buzz stick because he claimed to go to the moon and yet wouldn't actually say before God he went to the moon. I'm not saying he should have sworn on the Bible. He could have said, yes, okay, sorry, I'm not being a Christian, I can't swear on the Bible. But he's not a Christian, that's the issue. He's a Mason. You can't be a Mason and a Christian at the same time, because when you become a 33-degree Mason, as he is, you have to denounce God.
Yep.
You have to spit on the Bible, literally. It's one of the rituals. Andy, take those 11 frames and keep watching.
Innit?
You see, the thing is now, as soon as they bring this 11 frames up, they're the ones being dishonest.
I know.
Because they are totally taking what was presented and trying to misrepresent what was presented, without realizing they're conceding that they don't have physical curve.
Yeah, but it shows how desperate they are when they're taking something from 3 years ago and still throwing it in your face.
Yeah, but there's
a
no
prime example of that is like the bendy cranes argument, isn't it?
Absolutely.
On the bendy cranes, you're looking at the wrong part.
Wrong thing.
And
exactly.
the more we're telling them it's not about the bendy cranes, the more that's what they're trying to push on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, Issa, man, good to see you. So they're just projecting their dishonesty. That's what doesn't bother me. Why do they think I keep all my videos up? Because I got nothing to hide. I'm not deceitful.
Exactly.
Yeah, PT. By the way, nice straw man you did yesterday, and Rachie totally demolished you. Yeah. It must get boring, Alan. Hey, Terry Windsor. Again, this is another sock account from Andrew. I don't know why you banned. Maybe you crossed the line again for trolling. You are the king troll after all. That's why you got Terry Windsor, yeah?
Yeah. 142 sock accounts.
I mean, guys, Andrew is a proud troller. He's outright proud of being a troller, guys. I mean, how much times do we have to tell the guys, just be honest and stop trolling, stop harassing? Then you won't get trolled. You won't get banned. Yet they still do it. And then they moan and play victim when they get banned because they crossed the line.
That's right.
PD says, sure, no need to change your up and do what? No need to change your up and do somersaults to look up on a flat plane. No one did somersaults. Again, straw man. The argument was orientation changes due to your location. That was the argument. Showed it, plain and simple. Hey, Apocryphon, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Glad you could make it, mate. This is the Ellemnet. Does anybody have the Ellemnet link we can quickly stick for him? Otherwise, I'll just have to quickly get it in the...
I can't in a minute.
It was... Let me quickly see if I can get it here, because... Ellemnet link.
Quick experiment for them to try. Write a number 6 on your ceiling, and then walk to the other side of your room. Is it still a number 6?
That is how simple it is, yeah. That's how simple this argument is, and they still don't get it. I mean, Rachie did a brilliant job doing it with different shapes for them, and they still don't get it.
Wow.
Godzilla, well, Flatzoid, if they were honest, then they'd have to admit they have not one proof of globe. You have to lie to bluff. Exactly. Again, guys, this whole night has been about the stupidest arguments we get from the globe. If you're honest with yourself, you would understand why they're stupid, because we're explaining to you why they're stupid. And, yeah. But yeah, that's all we can really say. I mean, we've really heard stupid stuff. It takes me in your chat, but I can't hear anything. Yeah, you have to, when you're in the chat, you actually have to click on the
camera button,
the join, so you can come in.
Yeah. Well, it depends what you're on. Yeah, if you're on a phone, it's camera. If it's on the computer, it'll say join. Yeah.
There we go. You have to go in here to this link, and then you can just click on join, and then you'll come in, Apocryphon. So yeah, I mean, if you want to ask about, let's say, dishonesty, let's talk about Ruhav. How much years now has passed since he says he's going to do his Bedford level experiment? That's not a real experiment. Yeah, we're busy setting it up. We're busy setting it up. That was 2 years ago?
I thought it was about 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it 2019, 2020, mate?
Yeah, something like that. Hey, Apocryphon, good to see you, mate.
Hey, what's going on? It's good to see you. I figured it out.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, buddy.
Glad you could make it. So what's the stupidest argument you've heard for the globe?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a good question right there. The dumbest one I've heard recently?
Well, look, it's difficult to actually choose one because there's so many.
I know,
That's true.
There's quite a few. I think the dumbest one is where they say the light bending over the curve is going to bring up something into your view.
Yeah.
As it's behind the hill. That's so funny.
And it brings it directly into your view, not above, you know what I mean? Not like miles above, not just below, do you know what I mean? Directly into your view. You know, it's just crazy. Yeah.
I think that's got to be the biggest part of the brainwashing and indoctrination, because if you believe that you know, like there's a boat that's behind a curve of water, but on another day it actually is shot up into the sky, into your view. Now it creates a new horizon for you. Like that is a brainwashing that I think runs deep, and these people that truly believe that, like, those are the ones that need the most help, because that's just believing in fantasy right there. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember when they talk about refraction, they say refraction takes the curve away, but then we come and we actually show demonstration that it's refraction that causes the apparent curve to show. It goes opposite of what they claim. Hey, Andrew's in. How's it going, Andrew?
Yeah, why was I banned?
I don't know. I didn't ban you. But like I said, you probably trolled. So like I said, you probably trolled.
Ask LVA Paul while I was banned.
Well, you ask him.
You ask him right here.
Is LVA Paul in on the chat?
Yeah, for being an anchor troll, yes.
There's your answer.
There's your answer.
What was the comment that I posted that caused me to be banned?
I'm not going to tell you.
I'll tell you what I posted. I posted, thanks Flatzoid for agreeing that my lunar eclipse simulation matched the real lunar eclipse.
It didn't.
And you banned me for that.
It didn't. That's the problem. It
You
didn't.
agreed.
No, I said
Flatzoid,
that.
You agreed.
Hey,
no,
stop misrepresenting me. Stop misrepresenting. Okay, I'm putting him mute quickly. Listen what I said, dude. I said, as soon as you showed it was wrong, but that screenshot you took there, yeah, I could say that could maybe look sort of like it, but I wasn't agreeing with you. You get it, Andrew? Why do you come in here all butthurt? That's also one thing I want to know.
Yeah, he sounded very, very, very aggressive as well. You know what I mean?
He doesn't let me talk.
He didn't come in all quietly. He came in aggressively.
Yeah, but you see, this is the problem with these trolls, though. They come in here and they play victim after they're trolling. I mean, this is the same guy that keeps coming and saying, "Ooh, I'm proud of being a troll. I'm proud of because you're talking over me while I'm talking. This is my show, and it's rude."
Fine. Let me explain what your reaction was when you reviewed my simulation. Let me say, the last thing in my simulation was a picture of a real lunar eclipse and a cutout of my lunar eclipse, and you said, "Oh, yeah, I agree. They look the same."
I said based.
Are you going to deny that you said that?
No, I said based on that cutout, it could sort of look that way.
They look the same. The angle, the curve. Yeah, the camera was slightly offset when it makes the curve look a little bit offset. But there is a curve across my moon.
So you just conceded then they don't look the same then?
They look close enough.
So they don't look the same then?
Flatzoid, when you reviewed my video,
words
you said,
are important here, Andrew.
Yes,
so they don't look the same then?
They look close enough for a very basic simulation.
So there we go. They don't look the same then?
So you're going to go with if it's not exactly the same, not perfectly 100% precise, it's not correct.
Unless it's horseshoes and hand grenades. Close enough is good for those.
And so About 10 minutes ago, I posted a comment that said you agreed that the pictures kind of look the same, and LVA Paul banned me for saying that. I posted a fact of something that you said, and he banned me on site because he's a bigot.
No, he's not a bigot. He's simply just really sick of
every time my name turns up.
Can you stop talking over me?
Every time my name turns up, he bans me.
Okay,
even when I just say something normal.
Okay, you want to see something? Let's go to my channel quickly. And let's look at all the comments from you. And then we can see why you get banned on my channel. How's that? Okay, let's still look at my last...
Flatzoid, there are hundreds of other people who post comments just the same as mine, and I get banned and they don't get banned. That's bigotry.
Sorry, I didn't ban anybody. Okay.
I didn't say that you banned them.
Okay.
I didn't say that you banned me, but you allow LVA Paul to just ban people at whim whenever they challenge you, and you just turn a blind eye to it.
Do you have a problem with Paul?
I have a problem with LVA Paul banning people.
Okay, then I have a problem with you being here then. If you got a problem with the way I run my channel, then you don't need to be here. How's that?
You can run the channel your way you like, but the criticism
Then don't tell me how to run it.
Then the criticism is you are running your channel and not allowing criticism.
You
are just creating an echo chamber by getting rid of people who criticize you.
Again, there's a difference. There's a difference.
If you are so sure of what you are promoting, if you are absolutely so sure of what you're doing, you shouldn't have to ban criticism. You should welcome criticism and you should head it off with arguments. But no, you allow people to ban them.
Again, Andrew, the difference is you come and harass because you
harass. Why harass? I am
how much comments? How much comments did you give on? How much comments did you leave on my channels, on my videos, just today alone?
It doesn't matter.
No, how much comments?
You are trying to overturn all of physics and science and mathematics and everything.
I'm going to mute him again. I'm going to unmute you now. How much comments did you leave on my videos alone today? Just today alone.
I don't know. 100. I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so harassing. So harassing.
That's harassing.
So sorry. Yes, it's harassing. You know what your comments said. You know what those comments were saying.
If you are willing to stick by your arguments, then you will argue against them. You won't just say you're trolling, you're harassing. You won't just allow people to be banned.
Okay, let's put it this way.
You will fend them off with arguments. You will fend them off with facts.
Can you give me a chance to talk on my own show, Andrew?
Go for it.
Okay, first thing I say, thank you, Godzilla, for your super chat. Thank you very much for the 5 to red chat. He says it's cause trolls and Andrew look the same. They're not the same, but they look the same. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, Godzilla. Thank you very much, you rock man. But yeah, Andrew, the same as when you claim that post. You said mass attracts mass, which causes downward acceleration. So I post helium balloons. I post helium balloons. What is the vector?
You posted the pictures of balloons.
What is a vector?
Are they going up or down?
Why are you not letting me talk,
Andrew?
Yeah, Andrew, bro, you gotta let the man speak. Like, dude, just shut up for a second. Holy cow.
So, what vector is those helium balloons going in? Andrew? Asked to unmute, I guess. See, this is what I'm saying.
Is it direction or vector, Flatzoid? Just get it right and I'll answer the question.
What? Direction, actually, aka vector?
No. Direction and vector are different.
Oh my god.
A vector has a direction and a magnitude. A direction.
And you're telling me a
only.
helium balloon does not have a directional magnitude? You're telling me it doesn't have magnitude and direction? Is that what you're telling me? A helium balloon traveling upwards has not a vector.
So you asked what vector, and you're actually the question you're trying to ask is what direction. Now we don't know what direction. It's a still photo. How do we know which direction they're traveling?
Trolling. You see, guys, this is exactly why I say it's just trolling. A helium balloon goes up. It goes
I have helium balloons that go down. I've seen helium balloons go down.
When?
Buy better helium.
Yeah, buy better helium.
Definitely.
Did I post helium balloons that are just staying where they are, or did I post pictures of hundreds of helium balloons going up?
You posted a still picture. We don't know which direction they were going.
Okay, let's go look at
That's
this
just
picture,
ridiculous.
guys. Let's go look at the so-called, we don't know which direction helium balloons are going. This is why, this is, no. This is why I'm saying you are just trolling. This is really
Depends how much
idiotic.
helium they have in them.
No. This is just
But
you.
if you only put a small amount of helium in it, the balloon will just drop to the floor. If you put enough in it, it'll overcome the weight and
Guys,
it'll rise upwards.
tell me what direction these balloons are going. Anybody can see this. Where's that going?
Are you, I can't see what you do. Are you showing that still picture of those?
Okay,
hundreds of
let me
balloons?
try. I'm legally blind. Let me see if I can figure this. Oh, looks like up to a blind guy for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay,
How do you tell that from a still picture?
Oh
How do
my
you tell that
goodness!
they're going up from a still
You're
picture?
being pedantic. You know they're
You're
going
showing
up.
your ignorance.
You're being pedantic.
You're trolling. That's why you got banned.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me speak for a second. So let's just assume that those balloons are going up. Yes? Let's
They
just
are.
assume that.
Let's
okay?
not assume they are.
Okay? No, let's just assume they're going up. It's a picture we don't know. Let's assume they're going up because when you say helium balloon, we normally talk about a helium balloon that has enough helium that it is going up. Correct? Do you agree with that? Let's just agree.
Okay, before I answer that, I'm
we-
just say Tony Whitcomb, thank you very much for your £20 super chat. Really, really appreciate it, mate. You rock. He says, someone's in rumpus mode today. Yep. Thank you very much for the super chat, Tony. I agree.
Well, I'm glad I could earn you some money by coming onto your channel. Now, let's talk about the helium balloons. They're going up, right?
my
Yes, we agree.
goodness.
We agree they're going up, don't we? Do we
Oh,
do we
yeah,
agree those
that's the
helium balloons going
argument.
up?
Yeah, that's the
We all
argument.
did, but you didn't. Thanks for catching
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
No, for the sake of progressing, let's agree that those helium balloons are going up, right?
Okay.
Yes? Okay. So, now your question was what vector? Well, I don't know the vector because I don't know how fast they're going.
You just said they're going up.
They're going
No,
up.
but I don't know how fast they're going up.
Are they
Right.
moving?
I don't know how fast they're
Are
going.
they moving at a magnitude up?
Up.
Well, let's assume that they are, right. So I can't answer what vector they are. I can answer what direction they are travelling in. They are travelling up, aren't they?
They're accelerating up, correct? That means a vector.
Well, they're travelling up. I don't know how fast they're travelling up, but let's just assume they're travelling up.
So not downwards
Now,
then?
My post was about the downwards acceleration caused by gravity. Now, those balloons, they have a negative downwards travelling speed.
Do they have mass?
Yes.
What was your so-called hypothesis?
Was that the downwards acceleration will vary by latitude.
Downwards acceleration of mass. Helium has mass,
down-
correct?
Yes.
And I'm showing it
Now,
go
but you've-
up.
Yes, because of buoyancy as well. We
No,
all
no,
know
no,
this. We all know that
no.
buoyancy-
Listen,
we all know
listen to your
that.
argument.
We all
Listen
know-
to your argument. You claim downwards acceleration because of mass. I totally threw it in the water by showing something that has mass going up.
Right. Is
Total
down the
different, totally different vector.
Okay, Flatzoid? No. You're wrong. Is down? Sorry, hang on. Let me rephrase this. Is up the negative of down? Is up the negative of down? Simple question.
It's opposite.
That's right.
Yeah.
So a negative downwards movement is an upwards movement.
Sorry, where's it saying negative down here? In your so-called not a hypothesis.
No. Downwards, I didn't say whether it was a positive or negative. I just said downwards acceleration.
Downwards acceleration experienced by mass.
Yes,
Sorry,
and it
is
has-
upwards
no.
is upwards
Hang on a
downwards?
second. Now, downwards is just a direction. It's not a vector. When you add the magnitude to it, it becomes a vector.
So-
now that magnitude can be negative.
So downwards acceleration, correct? That's
Negative
a vector.
downwards acceleration.
No. Does
Negative
it say
downwards
negative
Hang
or
on,
does
hang
it
on.
say downwards acceleration?
No, you can take a direction. Now, down is a direction. Okay, that is a direction only. To make it a vector, you need to add a magnitude. That magnitude can be positive or negative. It doesn't change the direction of that vector.
You see what we're saying when we say you guys are dishonest? It literally says on screen, downwards acceleration experienced by mass.
Yeah.
I present a counter argument showing a balloon going in the
we're going round in
opposite
circles here.
vector.
You're going around in
Are you?
circles.
Can I ask a question? Are you stating that helium balloons that are going up are accelerating negatively downward?
Sure, why not?
Like when I play catch with my kid, I say, "Hey, throw the ball negatively downward, accelerating." I'm like, dude, it's a word salad. You're just obfuscating from the simple point that Flatzoid was trying to make. Like, what a bunch of BS! Like, you twist yourself into a pretzel to say a balloon going up is negatively going downwards, accelerating.
Yeah.
Like, it's
That's
insane.
exactly what you've done.
Why not? Left is the opposite of right. Up is the bottom of down. Forwards is the opposite of backwards.
No. What you're saying is left is not the opposite of right. You're saying left is going to the right, accelerated negatively.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
That's
It's a
totally
false
different.
equivalence.
I mean, that's idiotic.
The fact
no
that
wonder you have difficulty
comprehend
communicating. You have to leave 100 comments.
The fact that you guys are disputing negative numbers is just preposterous.
Again, Andrew,
now,
this is your hypothesis. Show me where it says anything about negative acceleration.
I didn't I didn't talk about actual magnitudes. I didn't talk about.
Oh, yes, you did.
Direction.
What was downwards acceleration mean?
And what is negative down? Is negative 1 a magnitude?
You are saying
negative 1 a magnitude.
Listen, you say downwards, which is the direction, acceleration, which is the magnitude. So it's downwards vector.
No. Where did I say magnitude? That the magnitude was positive.
Is acceleration not a magnitude?
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Where did I specify that it was positive?
Downwards is the direction.
No.
Acceleration is the magnitude.
No. Acceleration isn't a magnitude.
Oh my god.
Acceleration isn't a magnitude. Meters per second is not a magnitude. That's a unit.
This guy's being pedantic, it's like, so this is why we're saying you're trolling. This is exactly why we're saying it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous now.
Now, Flatzoid, in that post, I posted 3 solutions to that problem of helium balloons going up. And you haven't addressed the other 2, have you? You've stuck on this one because you think it's ludicrous that you can have something negative downwards.
Sorry, because you're obfuscating from the point. What was the original argument? You don't have a hypothesis for gravity. Okay?
I have a hypothesis that the downwards acceleration that happens to mass will vary by latitude.
And yet the balloon goes up with mass. So it doesn't have a downwards acceleration.
And the magnitude of the downwards acceleration experienced by that balloon will change depending on the latitude.
Okay.
What's the cause of this downwards acceleration, please?
Curvature of space-time caused by the uneven distribution of mass.
No, you said latitude. You said latitude. You said latitude your IV. Your cause is latitude, so it's not gravity there.
And there you go with the childish idea that the IV is the cause. It's not. It's changing the IV.
What do you mean?
Oh boy.
What do you mean it's not?
Okay, let me say this. The change in the IV causes a change in the DV, and in between that there is a cause. But the IV is not the cause of the DV. The change in the IV is the cause of the change in the DV. But you guys want to go on this that IV.
Gravity is not a false, George.
Dude.
And that's why you're going
real
around
force of gravity at all, Brian Cox.
Oh, whatever. And that's why Flatzoid goes on with this
hand wave dismiss it. Yeah.
This idea that having a pot on a stove for different amounts of time somehow is saying that time causes.
Okay, Andrew.
Oh, shut up.
Okay, Andrew, can I talk again? You just made a bold claim, Andrew, that an independent variable is not the cause. I got on screen now. An independent variable is defined as the variable that is changed or controlled.
Can you let flat stock?
That represents a cause or a reason for outcome. A IV is the independent cause. That's what causes the deviation. That's what causes you to have an effect. Do you understand? You literally don't even understand what an IV is.
Independent.
The cause. The cause for the effect. Do you get it now? So if you are claiming, let's go back, your IV is latitude, that is your cause for your DV, downward acceleration. What did I show? Helium balloons going up, not down. So it doesn't matter which latitude you are going, the helium balloon would be going up. So latitude is not the cause for downwards acceleration of mass. Get it? Very simple stuff. I mean, my 8-year-old daughter will understand this. Is he gone?
He's maybe on mute. He must be
he's
on
on
mute.
mute, yeah. So that's the simplest I can explain it. The claim was scientific hypothesis, and you literally showed me you don't have science. That was the argument. Not negative acceleration. That's just you trying to backtrack on your idiotic not an hypothesis.
Hey, sorry, I'm back. I don't know, I must have hit something. But let me ask you this. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Let me ask this very simple question, and just want a very simple answer. Okay, it's not a trick question. Does the accelerator in your car, does your accelerator in the car cause your car to go faster?
You know what a false equivalence is?
No. Just ask me.
The
just
cause,
answer this.
it depends how you word it. The cause for acceleration is not the acceleration pedal. The acceleration pedal.
No, but
the acceleration pedal is the how can I put it? The need to cause the acceleration of your engine. So the more combustion you have, which causes your acceleration. That means moving parts, but that's a false equivalence. You are claiming now, that's what I said, it depends how you word it. Depends how you word it. Does the acceleration pedal cause you to accelerate? Now, we can word it this way. We can word it. Listen what I'm saying.
I know that the end, but the question is, is the accelerator pedal the cause of acceleration, right? Cause of your speed? No, it's not. It's the change in the position of the accelerator pedal.
Again, it depends on how you are wording it, and that's a good point, Alan. If you're in neutral, you can press the accelerator pedal all you want. Your car can be off. You can push it all on.
I'm asking a simple question.
No, that's not. You change the experiment. That shows it's not the cause, because if your car's off, you will not accelerate by pressing the accelerator pedal. If you're out of petrol,
then you have not controlled for whether your car is turned on and off.
That's control variables. So in other words, I have to make sure I don't have fuel in the car, I don't have power, because you are claiming the cause for acceleration is the acceleration pedal. So how do you isolate it? You have to make sure that is the only thing that is manipulated to see. So therefore, I have to push only the pedal, make sure there's nothing else that can cause it to accelerate. So you've just debunked your own argument.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you were saying the acceleration pedal causes your speed.
No, it doesn't. You saying that?
No.
Oh, wow.
No. It's the change in. Listen. It's the change in position of the accelerator pedal that governs your speed. It's not the actual.
Governs. So it's not the cause. So it's
pedal.
not the cause. You said it's cause.
Right, so
I said it's not.
Let's get back to the helium. Let's get back to the helium balloons and latitude.
Switching topics again.
Let's
go to a new one.
It's the same thing.
Back to helium.
Well, let's go back to the helium balloons. My hypothesis was that a change in latitude will cause a change in the magnitude of the downwards acceleration. Now, you are misrepresenting that by saying that latitude causes acceleration. I'm not. A change in latitude causes a change in acceleration. That's the hypothesis.
IV latitude, that would be the cause.
No, that's not the cause. It's the change in
I have
the
it on
latitude
screen.
is the cause.
I have it on screen. IV latitude.
Yes.
So that's the cause.
It's not the existence of latitude. It's the variable is latitude. So let's vary the latitude and see how the DV, the acceleration, varies. We vary one and see if it varies the other, and that's how we show that there's a link between one and the other.
So let go of helium balloon at any latitude. Do you see a downwards acceleration?
The magnitude of the downwards acceleration will be different at different latitudes.
A helium balloon is downwards acceleration at different latitudes. Is that your claim?
Negative downwards acceleration.
There's no negative in here.
The magnitude can be positive or negative.
Why is this negative coming in?
The magnitude can be positive or negative.
There is
nothing in my hypothesis that says the magnitude has to be positive. It can be negative as well. And the magnitude of the negative the negative acceleration will change with latitude.
Okay, you know
when
what?
I drop my apple, it goes negatively upwards.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it does.
Downwards is
What
the
a,
negative
what
of
a
upwards.
nonsensical claim. That is
That's
idiotic.
stupid.
The fact that you guys can't comprehend negative numbers is not helping your cause.
I understand negative
Show me
numbers. It's
two
just
negative
stupid.
apples.
Okay.
Show me 2 negative apples. You can't, can you?
I never said there was a negative quantity of apples. We're talking about negative
so how can you have a
acceleration.
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's take 2 balloons, Andrew, and you hold it at your location, and I hold 2 balloons. Are you claiming they're going to be downwards accelerating negatively at different rates?
Yes, you are slightly further north than I am. So
Okay,
that will
guys.
make a difference.
You heard it all. I think everybody should go buy a helium balloon. We should put it to a test. Put the
we
same.
gotta have a helium party.
Yeah, everybody buy a helium balloon. We stick a measuring lines onto a wall with a camera, and we let it go, and then we see if they accelerate downwards, or in this case negatively downwards, which would be up, okay, and see if they accelerate at different rates.
Well, we have to inhale the helium before we do it, though. Talk like chipmunks while we do the downward negative accelerating experiment.
Right. Well,
or demonstration.
Flatzoid, perhaps you can see why that might actually be a difficult thing to find any difference between your location and my location. Perhaps you can see how that's a difficult experiment.
So
to be able to measure that difference.
So then your hypothesis is
first
fault. Then exactly, it's not
no,
the
it's
actual.
not faulty. You have devised an experiment that is not going to be precise enough to get.
Sorry, but that's
the result
exactly
to
what
prove
your hypothesis is stating.
Well, the hypothesis is stating that's what happened. You have to then devise an experiment that is going to be precise enough that you can control for so many things that you're going to see what the hypothesis is hypothesizing. But you'll find that how between you and I and whoever else is going to do this in different places around the world, how are we going to control our helium balloons to be exactly the same so that you might spot at the most a 0.3% difference in the acceleration? So it's a very small difference, and you're going to trouble being precise enough to be able to measure that and get a result.
So then again, I'm going to ask you, how are you going to do falsification? Because scientific method is all about falsification. So if we can't falsify it, then why? How can you? How you just said you can't do it?
No, I'm saying that the experiment that you said is not going to be precise enough to produce any useful results either way. You need to come up with a way of, or anyone needs to falsify it. You need to come up with an experiment that is well enough controlled to isolate the effect that you're trying to measure and determine whether it works like the hypothesis says it should. And then there you go. You've supported the hypothesis or you've falsified it. But you and me just saying, let's get some helium balloons from the party shop and putting lines on a wall, that's not precise enough.
Okay, so everybody get the same make of balloon, put the same amount of millibar of helium in it, make sure you stick
not
it with
millibar,
the same,
volume,
make sure,
volume.
Millibar, volume. I was very precise with that.
Pressure. Millibar is a pressure.
Volume.
Millibar is a pressure.
Volume. Pressure is volume, you idiot.
No, pressure is not
What's a
volume.
Pascal? What's a Pascal?
Pascal is pressure.
As QE says, just let them speak.
Exactly. Pounds per square inch, correct?
You would have
square
to put
inch
the same,
of what?
We would have to put the same quantity of gas in each balloon. Each balloon would have to be the same weight within a very small tolerance. The temperatures the temperatures and the pressure of the environment that you're doing the experiment in would have to be controlled for. We're not going to be able to do that. It's ludicrous to think that with a couple of party balloons, you're going to be able to see results one way or the other.
So again, listen to what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, at this point, I think I need to take a hit off my joint and negatively accelerate the inhalation low so I can get high. This conversation is insane.
I'm doing the same, man. I'm doing exactly the same.
I don't know if it's because I'm tired and it's 1:30 in the morning, but it sounds to me like this guy is trying to debunk his own hypothesis without realizing it's not a hypothesis and has no experiment for his not a hypothesis.
Well, of course, it's a hypothesis. I've given you the things. Devising an experiment that's going to produce a result
not a hypothesis.
might be really difficult. It is a hypothesis.
You just said. You also just said you can't do an experiment to falsify it. So
no. I have a hypothesis. Now the question is, can we devise an experiment? And your idea of having balloons party balloons all around the world is not going to be able to. No one would look at that and go, "That's a good experiment. We're going to get a result out of it."
It's because it's not an experiment. It's a demonstration. It's a demonstration. Listen. Because it's a demonstration that things are not accelerating down because of mass. That's what it is.
Sure they are.
A helium balloon
it's
is not
accelerating negatively downwards.
I got no words for this guy.
Look, Flatzoid, this has been very interesting. I really have to go. I have to go to work. Anyway, remember the whole reason why I called up here is because I got banned for posting a fact about something you said about my video.
That's not why you got banned.
Well, that's the comment that I posted, and that's why I got banned.
He told you why you got banned. He said it to you. He said exactly why you got banned.
I'll tell you why he banned. Because I popped my head up in live chat where he can ban me. It's not because of what I said right then. It's because.
Okay, he cut out.
Good.
This guy literally.
No, I was just showing him that I can ban him from here as well.
Oh, right, you just kicked him out.
It's just wasting everyone's time. We are 2 hours in now, Flatzoid, if you wanted to wrap it up.
Yeah, I actually have to because I got work in a few hours as well. But
yeah, definitely.
The thing is, we let him talk because not only did he show he has to be dishonest and now talk about negative downwards acceleration, which is just poppycock. He literally has to try and be dishonest by saying helium balloons is now not an experiment to falsify what is not a hypothesis. This guy doesn't understand. He doesn't even know how to set up a hypothesis. This isn't a hypothesis. He doesn't even understand what an ivy is, and then he wants to come and tell me a demonstration that shows his real ignorance here false is not me having an argument. It's just the guy is idiotic. It's idiotic. And that's why I said, if you go check anybody can go check my channel, go watch just the last few videos and live streams of that, and you just see Andrew Johnson everywhere, just trolling, and it's not questions, it's trolling questions. It's trolling comments. So that's why I don't actually care if he gets banned, because he is a troll. He's even stated to be a proud troll on this channel.
Yeah, he tells you how many names he's got. He said it in his last the 27 questions, didn't he? Yeah, it's just ridiculous. He came in and without a point and left without a point.
Yeah, again, if you're stating this is it, hypothesis. If the Earth is a rotating spheroid, the downwards acceleration of mass will decrease towards the equator. That is a claim, not a hypothesis, by the way. So he says IV latitude. Sorry.
Latitude.
That's not Earth rotating. Latitude and Earth rotating is two different things, first of all.
Well, firstly, he's begging the question of Earth being a rotating spheroid.
That's
and then he's begging the question that gravity is a force.
Exactly. And then he claims all the mass will experience downwards acceleration. There's no negative acceleration placed in there. Do you guys see anything about negative? No.
No. And also that the equator, how did you get that equator? How was that the right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And now also, what is a latitude?
It's an
arbitrary position.
Yeah.
It's an arbitrary position, correct? So arbitrary positions cause things of mass to accelerate downwards. So I show him a balloon going up. Yes, and it's a vector because it has acceleration.
And then you had to do some negative downward. So negative downward is up. I mean, who talks like that?
No,
I understand it, but who talks like that? It's just stupid.
He says that.
It's just what my granddad would say, baffle with bullshit. You know, just confuse you. Just like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, his assertion in regards to being banned or suppressed or whatever, he he leveraged that into saying that Flatzoid's not willing to be challenged. He just bans his detractors and doesn't challenge the argument. Meanwhile, Flatzoid just did an entire video reviewing Andrew's video on the responses to 27 questions.
Yeah.
But beyond that, Phil Bell's in the chat every day. Sean's in the chat every day. It's nothing but detractors in the chat. And Flatzoid's a better man than I am, because if it were my channel, I wouldn't even read their comments unless it was a super chat. But he even reads their comments and then responds to them live. So the entire assertion is, well, literally a bald assertion fallacy, right? So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we did try that for a couple of days, didn't we? Try and say, like, if you've got a question from now on, because they were being arseholes, then put in a super chat, and they never did. So it was a waste of time. You know what I mean? They're just idiots.
But yeah, like I said, the guy's proud to be a troll. He clearly shows ignorance on everything he's talking about, and when he comes in, he was literally just being rude and over talking everybody non-stop. And showing.
Yeah, he came in aggressively.
Flatzoid.
Yeah.
The stupidest thing I've heard a baller say is that, "Fuck this negative downwards."
Yeah, so I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
But you see,
absolutely.
But you see, that's how dumb these guys are. And then they have a problem when you say there's a such thing as negative when you say you have less pressure. So in other words, it's negative compared to. And they say, oh, now you're saying you have negative pressure. Ooh, you can never have negative pressure. It's like, yeah, I think when we say this vacuum has less pressure, so okay, negative compared to Earth's pressure, it's less than. You understand?
Yeah, that's.
Obviously, you don't get negative pressure because pressure requires something to be there. But that's how pedantic.
That's a good point.
That's how pedantic.
He said, why don't you guys believe in negative numbers? Well, why don't you? You know, if I put my negative helium pressure into the balloon, will it go down? Well, no, it's going to turn into a fucking vacuum.
But I mean, that's how idiotic these guys are. They don't understand. If you stick a helium balloon in a vacuum, it has no air around it to force against it, so the helium balloon either pops, or if a little bit, it goes down because there's no air to support it. So in other words, relative density. What did you remove? The medium. Not you caused gravity. You can't isolate gravity, and that's why I told you he doesn't have any control variables. When I'm trying to help him out a bit, give him a bone and say, okay, let's all do the so-called not experiment and take the same millibar, which is pressure, which is pascals, which is a volume in a balloon. I mean, you can try all the controls you will, and he still says you're not going to be able to measure this difference. So in other words, it's a mute argument. If you can't measure a difference, then how do you know it's there?
The word negligible comes to mind.
Negligible. They love that word.
They do.
So yeah, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to look at closing this because
Like down early in the morning.
Yeah, it's 35 past 1 now a.m. And my son is awake now as well.
Yeah, bedtime, I think.
I don't know what I'm doing at the sunny. I don't know what I'm doing at the sunny beach at 1:30 in the morning, but.
I know what you're doing. And your son, he's at the sunny beach at this time as well.
Wow. Great show, man. Great time. I like where we're coming at, to the point. I like this point right here in that, you know, they really have nothing, and they have to use these tactics and these silly arguments and completely making up reality in order to justify their beliefs. It's really interesting.
Exactly.
Negative downwards is now upwards.
So in other words, when we're positive about things, we're negative about things, okay?
Yeah, we're negative about things. When we're positive, we're negative.
I mean, what's the use of having an argument then if you just go against what you said?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Okay, so guys, I'm going to say bye. Really appreciate everybody coming. Remember,
All
tomorrow
right,
night's going to be a special one. It's PJ's birthday stream. Woo! Well, tonight actually for me and for you, PJ. So happy birthday, mate.
Happy birthday, PJ.
It was it.
Happy birthday.
It's actually my birthday now.
Yeah.
Nice one, man. Nice one. Thank you.
My son says, I'm going to have birthday cake.
Nice. Nice. Give me some, please.
Well, it is my daughter's birthday tomorrow, Saturday, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the day after.
She's
Excellent.
turning 2.
Nice.
Obviously not like your 18th birthday, but
No, of course.
So I'm just gonna say hi. Thank you everybody for coming. Really appreciate it. You guys rock. Just thank you, and thank you for all the support, all the super chats. Thank you for hitting the likes and pushing the show out, sharing it. We'll see you guys all later for PJ's birthday celebration. We're going to have a dress up. So yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man.
It'll be interesting to see what everybody dresses up as. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, I'm up for that, definitely.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening or wherever you guys are. Until tomorrow or later or whatever. Many blessings. May the pressure be with you. Cheers.